On this episode of Under the Radar, it's our official Sunrise Side special, where we explore the east side of Michigan's Mighty Mitten. On our way up, we'll stop for some food so good, you'll see double. We'll also hit Michigan's most tropical resort and get organic with some real food and real nice people. We'll even discover some true marine treasures both above and below the water. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan's Sunrise Side a great place to be.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Also by Downtown Bay City, Mid-Michigan's beautiful riverfront downtown. Enjoy what's old and what's new at one-of-a-kind places to shop, dine, and be entertained. Or just sit along the riverfront, take a deep breath, and watch the boats go by. Info online at downtownbaycity.com.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar Michigan.
Welcome to UTR Michigan's official Sunrise Side special, where we explore the east side of Michigan's Mitten. And hey, I just figured out why they call it the Sunrise Side. The sun actually rises on this side. Go figure. Michigan's Sunrise Side continues to be our state's biggest underdiscovered treasure. The people, places, and things you'll find when you explore these shores are exceptional. No matter what you're into, the great towns and awesome natural resources make this part of Michigan a wonderful place to play, or even stay for a while. It's less crowded over here too, so there's lots of room to stretch out, kick back, and relax. The Sunrise Side is definitely worth a UTR-type adventure, so let's get her done. Now, you've heard the old expression, go west, young man. Well, you know us on UTR, we're rebels. So we went east, and our trip literally started with a feast the likes of which we've never had before. Now, if you say Mulefoot gastro pub to a regular person, they'll probably ask you if it's contagious. But if you say it to a foodie, they know exactly what you're talking about. And that's because the Mulefoot gastro pub is a sophisticated, funky, cool, and casual new eatery in Imlay City. And believe me, this place is attracting attention from genuine food lovers across the country.
Food here is awesome, everything being so local.
He takes local food and makes it amazing.
And I've never tasted anything so flavorful as what I've had here.
The combinations, sometimes they explain it to you and you go, I don't know how well that works. And then you taste it and it's amazing.
We only live 2 miles from here, and to come around the corner and just come 2 miles and get this fantastic fresh food is just amazing in our little small town.
Identical twin brothers Mike and Matt Romine are living their dream and dreaming up incredible locally grown edibles that are filling stomachs and blowing minds. Youth is not wasted on these guys. They have infinite energy and passion for what they do.
Mike has created something that everybody needs to experience, and I can't say enough about it.
They've created a jewel here in Imlay City.
Mike Romine is just one half of the dynamic duo behind Imlay City's newest hotspot. Now, you're more front of the house and Matt's more back of the house, or how does that work?
I'm kind of the general manager. I run the whole restaurant, and Matt kind of sticks in the back and deals more with the kitchen on the day-to-day.
Explain what a Mulefoot gastro pub is.
Well, the Mulefoot is a very rare breed of a pig. So there's only about 600 in the country, and they're renowned for the quality of their pork. And so we raise those pigs ourselves. So we decided when we were making the name to just name the restaurant after the pigs.
Well, you got them in your backyard? Or
yeah, absolutely. We have 40 acres north of town here, so our pigs literally have a 10-acre plot that they just roam free on.
Right, and what's different about these pigs?
They're super, super rare, and their pork is more red. It's almost marbled like beef, so it's not the anemic white pork that you find at the grocery store. So it's quite a lot different. They're heritage hogs. They're the way that pigs used to be centuries ago.
Now, you explain the path that you and your twin brother, Matt, went on to open this restaurant, because you guys are pretty young guys.
We are. We started out in the restaurant industry when we were really young. We were about 15 years old. I started at a really nice bird hunting club here. And so over the years, I've just been really blessed to work in a lot of different places with a lot of great chefs where we actually cooked everything from scratch. And so throughout my travels, I've lived in Michigan, Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas. My brother and I even worked for the #1 restaurant in the whole world in Copenhagen, Denmark. And so we kind of just brought all of that back together here at the Mulefoot. So it's just a culmination of experiences from all over the planet. And so what we did with the gastropub, a gastropub is a unique concept. Gastro for gastronomy and pub as a public house. So it's a blending of high quality food, but super high quality beverages as well. But it's without all the attitude. There's no pretentious thoughts in here. So we treat the food like it's a 5-star restaurant, except our servers walk around with flannel shirts on and blue jeans.
Yeah, I love this place. It's earthy, it's casual, but yeah, it still has an air of sophistication about it because the food's so good.
Absolutely. Everything is 100% made from scratch, and that's the key.
Now, you guys are what you call hyper-local. Does that mean you just source local faster than anybody else, or what does that mean?
Everything is local. When I say local, I mean within 20, 30 miles local. Some things, there are a few exceptions to that rule, like we use canola oil from B&B Farms, which is near Grand Rapids. Obviously, that's more than 20 miles from here. But for the most part, all the produce, all the proteins and everything are coming from farms that are within 20 miles of here. So it's super, super local, not just like the state of Michigan local. It's right here in this community local.
If you had to wrap up your philosophy of this place in a couple of sentences, what would it be?
This is a place of passion. So everything we do here, we do it because we love it. This restaurant embodies all the things that I love in the world: music, art, people, beer, wine, great food. So that's really what this place is about. It's a place of passion, and you can't fake that.
Now, if there's one thing we do really well on UTR, it's eat. And I gotta tell you, the level of sophistication that Mike and Matt are serving up at the Mulefoot is absolutely mind-boggling. So whether you're following the sunrise or sunset, do yourself a flavor and follow your taste buds to Imlay City. It's so good, chances are, we'll still be there. Now let's say you're on Michigan's sunrise side and you're looking for that perfect tropical getaway. Where do you go? Hey, that's what I was thinking. Now, just south of Oscoda on US 23 and right on the shores of Lake Huron is the Tiki Resort. And if you've ever driven by this place, I'm sure you did exactly what we did, a double take. The Caribbean on Lake Huron? Yeah, sure, why not? This is Michigan. When you walk onto the grounds, you're instantly transported to the tropics. From the grass hut umbrellas and big white sand beach to the little pastel cottages all in a row, this place warms you up and slows you down. And suddenly, as Bob Marley would say, every little thing is going to be all right. Teresa Landino is My Tiki's proud proprietor, and she makes the tropical magic happen here every summer season. We've been driving by this place for 3 years now, and every time we drive by, oh my gosh, we have to stop there, it's so cool. What's the most challenging thing for you keeping this place so tropical? We're in Michigan.
Yeah, it's just the color scheme here and the thatch and I think the palm trees and just the sandy beach.
The beach is extraordinary. You don't see too many beaches like this on this side of the state. Is this real?
This is real.
It's so huge.
It is. It's really beautiful on the east side of Michigan. People will see pictures from here and ask where we were in Bermuda or the Bahamas. And it's just right here in Michigan.
And the rooms are spectacular.
Yep, we just, each one we get an idea and we just run with it, and each one is different from the other.
What do you love about this side of the state? What do you love about Oscoda in this area?
You know, it's the west side of the state gets so much notoriety, and the east side here is just as beautiful. The beach and the water here is just as beautiful. And Oscoda's a great town. It's got a lot to do. It's a lot of fun here.
So you must get a lot of return people that come back once they experience this.
Yeah, we do. We have guests that have been here 42 years, and their grandkids are now coming, and And we get a lot of repeat customers.
A lot of families with kids come here?
Lots of families, lots of kids.
I was going to say, with this kind of beach, yeah.
Yeah, so many kids that we actually put movies on the beach during the week for the kids.
Boy, just say, think of the money I'm going to save. I don't have to go to the airport or anything. I just drive up here and get tropical.
That is the cool thing about this place.
Well, the place is incredible, and I mean, here, hats off to you.
Well, thank you.
I'm already sunburned, and I just got here.
So next time you've got a taste for the tropics, save the airfare, tune out, and check into the My Tiki Resort, a place where life's a beach every single day.
Now, say you're in Rogers City and you feel like eating at a restaurant that's family farm-owned, organic, free-range, grass-fed, hormone-free, and has great food. Don't worry, I got you covered.
The Chicory Cafe has brought Michigan's new food movement right to the heart of Rogers City. This cafe kicks it old school by doing things the way they were done over 100 years ago, completely natural and real. Dave and Michelle Glenn and her brother Chris Owens are the mind, body, and spirit at the Chicory. And together they're plating some pretty tasty organic edibles. Mike gave me some great insight into their overall outlook.
On this show, we go to a lot of farm-to-fork restaurants, but you guys are like the farm and the fork.
We are. We have a farm out in Hawks, Michigan, 80-acre farm, and of course now we have Chicory Cafe, where we try to supply as much as we can from our farm, but if not, we try to get other local producers.
Now, what brought you to this level of food consciousness? Well, I mean, what's the path you took to get here?
Well, part of it is the sustainability of the food system itself, and just understanding where your food comes from, having nourishing, healthy food, that's locally available, that's not traveling thousands of miles. The food part of it obviously is important, but it's also part of the health part too. I mean, I think, fresh food is a bit healthier. And for us, for the cafe, it's the flavor, it's the quality, it's fresh.
Well, speaking of traveling thousands of miles, you and your wife have traveled around the world.
We have. We've worked around many different countries around the world. Most recently, I spent 2.5 years in Afghanistan, headed up a USDA funded project, capacity building for extension for the government there.
Well, doing a restaurant the way you do it is the right way to do it, but it's not always the easiest way to do it. What are your biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge for us is, and this is really what differentiates us from a lot of other restaurants, is how we source our food. And trying to buy more local, we have to go and source our food ourselves individually. So we have to go to this place to get eggs. We have to go over here to get this meat. We have to go over here to get this cheese. We have to go over here to get the bread. And so it's more time on our part to supply ourselves and source our food. So we look at the nourishment part. The food is the nourishment for us as we eat. It's local, it's fresh, it's healthy. But it's also, by buying local, we're nourishing our community by adding dollars back into our community, by buying from our neighbors, buying from John Plath down the street and others. So
now, you've lived around the world. What keeps you in Rogers City? What do you love about this town?
Boy, it's really one of the most beautiful places in the state, I think. It's quiet, but yet it's got so many things to offer here. We've got the lake, Lake Huron right here. We've got 91 lakes inland. We've been very blessed to find a great piece of property in our farm, to have an opportunity to be able to start something like this, through the work we've done overseas and other places. And, our travels have allowed us to see different places, see different things. And we've tried to incorporate a lot of that into how we live and how we offer things here.
And why do people love the Chicory Cafe so much? I don't know. Let's ask them.
You want to be on TV?
No, I'm already on the newspaper.
You're already in the newspaper? I'm sorry, you're a celebrity. You can't be on our show.
How lucky are you to have the Chicory Cafe right next door?
We're so lucky.
Yeah, what do you think this place means to the community?
Oh, it gives them another opportunity for great food, everything made from scratch, locally sourced.
When I eat here, I know I'm doing something good for myself. It's healthy. But what I also love is their mission. This place is really, the owners of this place, they're trying to educate the community about good food and health, and they're also bringing the farmers and their customers together. I think that's very unique and very needed, and I just feel good about supporting that cause.
The Chicory Cafe is part of the enlightened food movement we love so much on Under the Radar. Good food that's good for you and being made by good people who are doing good things for the planet.
Now roll that all up into a great sandwich, and you've got one tasty UTR segment. Bonus. Well, it's Friday the 13th, and I'm going to go out on a glass-bottom boat into Thunder Bay and look at shipwrecks under the water. A little scary, kind of ironic. On UTR, even though we like to live dangerously, not, this 2-hour tour is fun, safe, fascinating, and uber educational. It's the Legends of Thunder Bay Shipwreck Tour, where you get to explore some of the Great Lakes' most famous sunken treasures without getting wet. Now, before you head out on the open seas, or lake so to speak, you'll start your adventure at the Great Lakes Maritime Heritage Center. We had a chance to visit here back in Season 1, and it really is an awesome place to get a sense of Michigan's great shipping history. Now, back on the boat, I met up with my first mate for the day, Stephanie Gandula, and her passion for this unique experience is unparalleled. So why are there so many shipwrecks in this area?
Well, there's a few good reasons for that. My favorite thing to say is they don't call it Thunder Bay for nothing. So, lots of terrible weather, sudden fog, terrible storms. Second reason is high traffic. Doesn't really look like it today, but at the early 1800s up until the mid-1900s, this was one of the busiest waterways in the whole world. Literally thousands of schooners and freighters were plying the Great Lakes. Any vessel traveling on the Great Lakes has to go by Thunder Bay, so high traffic would lead to collisions. Gotcha. And then another reason we have so many shipwrecks here in Thunder Bay is the shallow shoals, and so a lot of groundings. The limestone underneath the water where we're at right now is really jagged, so perfect for ripping apart a ship's hull, whether it's wooden or metal.
Now, these shipwrecks are all protected?
They are. They're part of the sanctuary, which is another layer of protection that the state of Michigan already provides. So it's anything on, any cultural artifact, like a shipwreck, that's on state of Michigan bottomlands is state of Michigan property, which is, you know, the people's property.
It's so neat to float above these because they're not that deep. They're only like 15 to 20 feet of water.
Right, some even as shallow as 8 feet.
So you can see so much of the ship. How is the wood preserved for so long?
Well, it's the cold, fresh water of the Great Lakes. I like to think of it as a schooner deep freeze. I mean, these ships are preserved because of the cold, fresh water. Whereas in the ocean, you've got the salt that will corrode metal, and you also have different critters that will eat away at the wood.
Now, you can dive these sites, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We encourage, we do not restrict access at all. We encourage folks to get out and experience our shared cultural heritage.
And this Thunder Bay for diving for shipwrecks is known around the world?
It really is. It's a world-class diving destination. And not just diving. I mean, we're here on the glass bottom boat, but there's snorkeling. You can kayak up to a shipwreck. All sorts of ways to experience.
Yeah, I mean, the tour's fascinating. The boat ride's fun. Even without the glass bottom, you know, it's still fun. Yeah. Do you ever find any, like, treasure or booty or bounty from the pirates? No?
This is the treasure. The treasure is the historical shipwrecks.
We saw some absolutely fascinating shipwrecks that were so close, you could almost reach out and touch them. We even got up close and personal with a classic freighter that was in port loading its cargo. If you're looking for a way to meld your mind with Michigan's magnificent maritime memories, you might want to head to Alpena for the Legends of Thunder Bay Shipwreck Tour. We did, and we would again. If you've always wanted to sail the 7 seas, but you kind of like living in Michigan, have I got a festival for you. The Tall Ship Celebration is an absolutely incredible event that happens right on the river in downtown Bay City. And if you can catch this great festival, you'll witness some of the most majestic masted ships still sailing the Great Lakes. Oh gosh, here come the ships.
Here we go.
You have to do the salute. Do it with me. When the cannon went off, did you jump?
2 feet.
Yeah. Now I heard there'd be some pirates to be found in these parts, so I set off to find me some. Arr. Totally makes sense. Tall ships, tall pirate.
That's it.
Have you done this before?
Never.
Are you guys kind of scared because there's pirates here?
Nah. Arr.
That's pretty good. Where's your parrot? Your mom is your parrot? You know, you'd make a great pirate with that stash.
Thanks.
Wait a minute. Are you a pirate in disguise?
Could be.
Let me hear you say the word R.
Arr.
Ah, he is a pirate. I knew it. I knew it. Dude, you're blowing my mind. Are you who I think you are?
Captain Jack Sparrow's heavy.
So those are real musket guns? Oh.
Not loaded, though.
Oh, not loaded. Good. Yeah, that's good. Shirley Roberts is one of the dedicated people who worked so hard to make this fantastic floating festival fun for all. What does it take to put on an event like this?
It's, I consider myself to be a bit of a wrangler, kind of watching after a million little pieces and trying to herd them all in the same direction. A lot of detail.
It's, yeah, wrangling cats is like wrangling boats is probably even tougher.
And boat people. Yeah.
Right. Where are these boats from?
They really come to us from all over. The ship that comes from the farthest distance is the Sorlandet, which hails from Norway. We do have a lot of ships that are from the Great Lakes and come from our own backyard, including Appledore, which is actually based here in Bay City.
Now, can people actually board these ships?
They can. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of our event, the ships are available for boarding and touring. Today is the day when the ships arrive, and there's a lot of work going on, and it's sort of organized chaos. We have a good crowd who come out today to see all of this, but boarding starts on Friday.
Well, I know you do a lot to make this happen, so I appreciate you taking the time, because this can't be easy to pull off. This is, to look down the dock here, it looks like it must have looked 200 years ago.
That's the plan, and that is why I think the event is so popular here in our community. Bay City is the smallest host port in the Great Lakes to host the fleet of tall ships when it comes through every 3 or 4 years. We are in good company with other communities like Toronto and Chicago and Cleveland. But when you come to the festival in Bay City, you get to experience it almost like it would have been a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, when tall ships would line either side of the river and was the regular means of transportation for us.
Well, now that the ships are all docked, do you think they'd let a landlubber like me on one of these boats?
Well, they might. We'll see if we know somebody. You want to go check it out?
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
So Shirley pulled a couple of strings, and I swabbed a couple of decks, and she got me on board the mighty brig Niagara. And thanks to fourth mate Connie Allen, I got me the landlubber tour.
Oh, wow.
We're on our way down to the berth deck.
Oh my God, the berth deck, meaning this is where you sleep?
Yeah, B-E-R-T-H, not
Gotcha.
B-I-R-T-H.
And what are all these bags?
Each one of these bags represents the sum total of personal space for most of the sailors on board this ship.
So if I'm a sailor, that's my stuff.
That's your stuff.
Wow, this is lower than my basement ceiling.
It is rather low. There are some places you can stand up in a few places.
You can.
Okay, all right.
Now, where do you make the victuals for the crew?
Ah, that is through this way. Let's come on through the galley.
Hey, you're barefoot. That's cool. Well, talk about economy of space. This is the kitchen, or the galley, or the...
Yeah, the galley.
Galley.
Yep.
Wow. I'd like to make a reservation. Now, after a quick trip to the chiropractor, I met up with ship's captain William Sabatini.
After coming on board this ship and seeing all the people involved and all the rigging, I don't even know where to start this conversation. I mean, how many people does it take to sail a ship like this?
Well, Niagara originally sailed with 154 as a naval warship. We sail with 40 today. Of course, 154 was to man all of the guns and sail the ship.
Now, what is a ship like this normally used for?
Well, in today's world, we're a sail training ship. We are in the business of taking people of all ages out to sea. They come here with an interest in wanting to learn how to sail as a crew member on board. We don't carry passengers, we carry only students. And what they want to know is they want to learn how to climb a loft, how to furl sail, have an adventure. But what they really get out of it is being within the ship's routine, the schedules that we have, the officers that we have. We divide them into 4 divisions, just like they did in the Navy in 1813.
You seem like a pretty nice captain. You ever keel haul anybody?
No.
He is a nice captain. I thought maybe you took people's iPods away or something.
No.
Not only are the tall ships in Bay City a fascinating celebration of our illustrious maritime history, they're also a heck of a lot of fun, too. So if you're in the mood for some incredible food, a sandy tropical getaway, or even classic ships on both sides of the water, the Sunrise Side is a part of Michigan you really need to explore. Because remember, the more you see, the more you've seen. You'll see.
Hey folks, you want to become part of the League of Extraordinary UTR Super Friends? It's super easy. Just go to utrmichigan.com. You can watch episodes, tell us where to go next, get information on all the places we've been, and even get UTR wearables like I'm sporting right here. Oh, and you can even get our new book, Under the Radar, the First 50, featuring our first 50 episodes and DVDs of all of our shows. So become a UTR Super Friend today. Go to utrmichigan.com. It's super cool and super easy.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Also by Downtown Bay City, Mid-Michigan's beautiful riverfront downtown. Enjoy what's old and what's new at one-of-a-kind places to shop, dine, and be entertained. Or just sit along the riverfront, take a deep breath, and watch the boats go by. Info online at downtownbaycity.com. And by Big B Coffee, celebrating 18 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, mugs, and coffee by the pound available in store and online. Franchise info available at biggby.com.